there's no sparse hairs flying around, so we can get a flat foundation. Right here, I'm taking the Benefit Precise Brow Pencil in the shade 4.5 just to fill in her brows so that they're unified and they look the same. So we're following the natural shape of her eyebrow, of course, and we're just filling that in as needed. I usually like to fill in the tip a little bit darker than I do the front. When you get to the front, you want to do light strokes so that it can look more natural. Once I'm finished, I just give it a nice second brush through with a spoolie just to make sure that it's laid down flat and not sticking up. Right here, I'm going to be taking the Morphe, I believe the 421 brush, and carving out that brow. So right under the brow, we're going to be using the Born This Way Natural Beige in the shade Natural Beige to carve out that brow, and we also going to use it to act as a concealer. So you're just following the natural shape of the brow, dragging it all the way across, making sure you're being as neat as possible so that you can clean up the bottom of that brow. Again, we're going to take this right on the other side, repeating the same steps that we did on that side. I like to use the concealer as a base because there's no need to, it's light enough that the colors will sit on and still pop through. You don't have to use an eyeshadow base once you're using this concealer. So it does a 2-in-1 job, so that's why I bring it all the way down. And right here, we're just carving out the other brow. I'm starting to like this brush. I don't know, it's a little small. I wish this brush was just a little bigger, but it gets the job done. I flipped the brush over just to make sure it's as sharp as possible around the edges. So it's just your preference. However you control your hand, whichever one feels comfortable for you, you can carve it out how you see fit. So I'm gonna bring that down and get ready for the to blend it out. So you want to pat that out with a beauty blender. I'm going to grab a beauty blender and pat that out because you don't want it to be caked up on your eyes and it will start creasing. So you want to tap out that product to give it a nice smooth canvas. So you're going to tap that product into the skin and try to blend. Don't take it away, just enough so that it's set in. It's don't crease when you put the powders on top of it. Yeah, so I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette today. So in the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm going to be using the shade, I think I used the shade Beam. Yes, I used the shade Beam, taking a flat brush, using the shade Beam to pack that onto the lid. So I'm taking that, it came out a nice silvery color. I got a little bit of creasing, that's why I took my beauty blender and went back in there, because I guess I didn't tap that good enough in the beginning. But this color that I'm using is the color Bean from the Jaclyn Hill palette. So that color came out really nice. That's a nice bridal look if you're going for like a shimmery, not too silver, but settled color. This color did the job for me. I like this color. I would definitely use this again for my bridal looks. So this is the color Bean. We're packing that all over the lid. Right all over the lid, we're going to be packing this color. And guys, I'm telling you, the payoff, the pigment you get from this color is awesome. I love this palette for weddings. Right here, we're taking the shade in the color Pukey from the same Jaclyn Hill palette. This is Pukey from Jaclyn Hill. I'm going to be using I'm using the fluffy brush from Morphe 573. So I'm using the fluffy 573 Morphe brush to just pack that out on the outer corners. Once I pack it on the outer corners, I'm going to drag it across a little bit lightly, brushing it in towards the top of the brow bone and then in the corner of the eye. So we're just going to be blending that out. My camera was so, like, I had a difficult time with the camera. This is my first time recording me doing somebody else's makeup and trying to get a zoom in, so I'm not really familiar how to get the good zoom in this, but I'm working on it. But I think I did good for the first time. We're doing the same thing we did on the other side to this side. So we're using that same Pukey color, We packing it on first, and after we pack it on, we're going to go in circular motions to blend out the edges, bring it up towards the crease and in the corner. So yeah, I gotta get this camera thing together. Right now I'm taking a small brush from Morphe, which I believe is the Morphe M506 brush, and I'm taking that Central Park and I'm putting it right in the outer corner of the eye, right in the lower outer corner of the eye, just to give it some definition. I'm doing that on both sides. So we just packing that on, and then again, once we pack it on, we're going to go at the end and just go with circular motions and blend up so everything is blended together. So as you can see, it's a little bit of like we want it to be blended well. So we're going to go in with that same first color. We're going to pack it on, not pack it on, I'm sorry. We're going to blend it in circular motions. I tried using my Inglot Gel Liner 77, but it was so dry. It was so dry. I know I could bring it back with the Duraline, but I just said, you know what, let me just get my liquid liner. Usually I would use the gel liner because it doesn't leave transfer, but in this case I didn't feel like fixing my Inglot liner, so I just went on ahead and got my NYX liner and just made a thin line across my NYX waterproof liner and just went across with that, just a nice thin layer, since I wasn't able to use my cream. Right now I'm going ahead with the Pond's moisturizer. I always use Pond's moisturizer. It does the job. It does a great job. I'm applying it with a brush that I got, I believe, from BH Cosmetics. Taking my beauty blender to go ahead and pack that, push that into the skin. Right now I'm applying my Milk Hydro Grip Primer to the face, and I'm gonna go ahead and push that in with the beauty blender as well. So I'm taking a darker shade closer to the skin tone to do the top of the brow. For the top of the brow, I'm gonna be using Warm Beige Born This Way concealer, yeah. And I'm gonna carve out the top of that brow, following its natural shape. As you can see, I just like to go up a little bit, just so you don't see a line going across. You want to just go up a little bit more over the brow, so you don't just see one line going across, and it's easier to blend. So I'm shaping the other brow now, the same as I did the other side, and going up a little over the brow, just so it's easier to blend. Sorry guys. Yeah, so far, what do you guys think of me? My first time filming, doing someone else. I was like, how do you put this camera? Like, what's going on here? But I'm getting it together. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out with the back of my beauty blender. I'm blending out the concealer for the top of the brow, blend it into the skin so you won't be able to see it once we apply the foundation. So foundation, I'm also going to use in the back of my beauty blender using Huda Beauty foundation in Toasted Coconut. I love Huda Beauty foundation. It smells so good, and it's a matte finish, so it's good for weddings and stuff like that, because you're going to be dancing and moving. You don't want to have a greasy face. You want to have a dewy face, but not a greasy face where you look like it's like unbearable. So yeah, I love this full coverage matte foundation for weddings. Yeah, I love Huda Beauty. That's it. There it goes. So I'm pushing that in the skin all over the face, just pushing it in, squeezing my beauty blender to get into any of the hard parts of the face. Right now I'm taking my Instapop cheek brush and just patting that in, so we can have the most flawless finish as possible. I don't know, I love this brush. I used to use the bigger one, the face brush, but it seems to be like so big. You could use it too, but I just prefer the cheek brush for the face. I'm going in with that concealer I use under the brow to conceal under her eye. That's the Natural Beige Born This Way. We're putting that under the eye, on both sides of the eye, to brighten up that eye and give it a nice snatched waking up look, because we want to be wake and baked at our wedding. Okay, right now I'm putting the concealer in all of the parts under the eye, down the bridge of the nose, right on top of the head, cupid's bow, and bottom of the chin. A little heart for fun, guys, because love is in the air. I'm taking the black opal, beautifully bronze, and I'm placing that around to contour her face to bring some definition back in the face. Once we apply the concealer, it's going to be really light, so we're going to need some definition to come back in the face and bring it all together. So right now I'm tapping that in with a brush that I believe I got this brush from Five Below, if I'm not mistaken. It's like $2, but yeah. It's from, I'm pretty sure it's from Five Below. I'm just taking that and I'm pushing that into the skin, going upward. So I'm pushing it in and I'm going in an upward motion so that it blends up and not down, so you can have a nice vibrant face. I'm putting the same thing on the sides of the nose just to contour it and give it a nice good definition. Even though she already have a nice slim nose, I don't know, I just love nose contour. So we're taking our beauty blender and we're pushing in that concealer into the skin, not moving it around. We're placing it, pushing it into the skin right where it's already placed, because we don't want it moving all around the face and it looking just completely ghosty. So I'm going to go ahead with my foundation brush and blend that contour and that highlight together. So the foundation brush helps to get rid of any marks of, demarcation and blend it all together flawlessly. So that's why I use the foundation brush. Right now I'm taking another small little blending brush and just blending out that nose. I think that's from e.l.f. But I'll have everything listed in the description below. I go back over it with the beauty blender just to get any of the creases of the lines away. So what you just see me do, I was just further blending out the eyeshadow just so everything is seamless. Right here I'm going to be tapping in some full coverage complete super stay pressed powder in the shade Natural Beige. I like to use the pressed powder first because it locks it in, and then I use the translucent powder on top to just set it. So the translucent powder I used was from Kylie Jenner, yellow, in the shade yellow, and I put that all over the highlight places. Excuse me. I'm just dusting that off. I don't really like to bake too long when I'm doing bridal makeup because I want it to be nice and dewy and not just like dry. Right here I'm gonna go ahead and take my Morphe. I used the Morphe contour palette, and I believe I used the medium. What shade was that? Yeah, I used the Morphe contour in medium, and the shade that I used was the bronzer shade. I used the bronzer shade. I'm doing the same thing on the nose. That same bronzer shade I'm using on the nose and going down that nose with that same bronzer shade. For blush, I'm going to be using, what did I use for the brush? I believe for blush I used the MAC. I can't remember the name, but I'll leave it in the description below. It's like, MAC Peaches. I'm coating the lashes with some waterproof mascara by Maybelline, and I'm also using some eyebrow gel by Maybelline as well. I'm taking that same yellow powder from Kylie Cosmetics, and I'm just further carving out that cheekbone just to make it nice and, sharp. Put a little bit on the bridge of the nose, forehead, and now we're gonna go in with that bean and we're gonna just put a little bit right under the brow just to make that pop, because in the pictures when you have that nice little, I don't know, it just does something for the pictures. It just makes it like so much better. We going under the brow and we taking that same pukey shade with a small brush, and we're just buffing that out right under the eye. So we're gonna be buffing that out right under the eye just to give it a nice smoky look and bring the whole bridal look together. Like, I love a smoky under the bridal. So I believe I mixed it. I mixed pukey with a tiny bit of Central Park just to give it that smoky look under the eye, and then blend it out so you don't see any harsh spots from when you were tapping it in. So we're gonna go ahead and blend that out. Blend that out, make it nice and smoky. Yes, yes. How you liking this look? I'm like excited. Yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm like, I can't wait to do more of these videos. So yeah, we just blended that out. Again, like I said, we're just gonna be blending that out. And if you see that it's too dark, you can always lighten it or darken it to your liking. So I think I wanted it a little lighter, so I went in with the lighter shade and just lightened it up a bit. Right here, I'm dusting off that excess powder that's on her face, because I don't like it to sit too long. I don't want it to look too ashy. I'm taking the Duo Lash Glue. It dries clear. It's the green box. I believe it's the white and green box. I love this glue. It really does wonders. I like to put it on I started putting it on the lash line because I find it easier to apply that way. So I put that there and I let it dry. Right now I'm going to be using the Real Technique 402 brush to apply some highlight. The highlight I'm using from here is the It's the e.l.f. highlight. So I'm using that e.l.f. highlight in the shade, what's the shade? It's not rose gold. No, I know what it is. It's the e.l.f. highlight in the shade white gold. And this shade right here on light skin tones is fire. You hear me? Fire. If you are light skinned and you don't have this white gold e.l.f. highlighter, you're bugging. It's the bomb. It's like $4 and it's like popping. Like, go get you one. Ulta Beauty. Yeah. So right now I'm just putting it on the tip of the nose, a little bit down the bridge of the nose, just to give that a little pop. I'm gonna pop on some Adele lashes. I'm not sure the number, but I believe it's the natural wispies. The regular wispy ones, but I'll have that in the description below with the exact number of these lashes, and they came out so pretty. So pretty. I love those lashes, nice and natural. Demi wispies for weddings is like the bomb. I gave her a wipe just to wipe off her lips because I didn't want any of that on her lipstick to overshadow her lipstick. Right now I'm pressing that together, and I'm going to be using the NYX pencil and nutmeg. NYX lip pencil and nutmeg just to outline her lips. So we're outlining her lips in a NYX nutmeg lip pencil. I don't know. I just always get tongue twisted when I'm trying to say something. So yeah. So we overline her lips because she has little lips. So we're going to go over the line of her lips just to make them appear more bigger. And we're going to clean it up with our beauty blender if anything went out of tack when we was putting that line on. Right now we're using the MAC Flesh Spot to put on her lips. And this is like the perfect color for weddings. It's the perfect lip combo for weddings. I love this lip combo. I literally use it every time I'm trying to give like a bridal look or a wedding look. Like this is popping on light skins. I'm applying some mascara to the bottom lash and also to the top to connect the falsies and the real lashes together so they blend together seamlessly. And look at this. This is like, oh my God, amazing. Right now I'm just going over the lash band just to make sure everything is nice and seamless. And you can't really see the lash band, to blend the lash band together. So you can't really tell the difference and notice the difference. yeah, guys, so look how far we came. Oh my God, she's beautiful. I sprayed her face off camera. I didn't get that by accident with the MAC Studio Fix Plus. Added a little bit more of the highlight. Sprayed the finishing spray to set it in, and look. Yes, we have a bride. Here comes the bride. Yes. Make sure if you like this video, you like, comment, and subscribe to your girl Suga, Beauty by Suga. And we want more videos. Let me know. Like, comment down below, and we are good to go. Thank you guys. Love you.